So it's now 2:30 p.m. on Sunday, October 5th, 2025. I've spent the last 3 hours waiting outside of the door for the incompetent and useless Boston Police Department to show up, and they didn't show up. So I walked to the station twice, spoke with them, and explained to them that because they have failed to respond to a race-based hate crime that keeps happening, this is like the third time in the last 6 months that somebody has done this to my door, that I will be reporting the Boston police as racist themselves. Racism is racism. It is what it is, right? It doesn't matter what color you are. You can certainly be racist towards other races, right? This whole concept of the only people on the planet being capable of racism being white is so beyond ridiculous that it is actually racist itself. I mean, by saying that only white people are capable of racism, you are dehumanizing the other races. You're saying they're not capable of normal human emotion that include dislike of people who don't look like them. No, everybody, and if everybody is equal, then everyone is equally capable of feeling the same equal emotions towards other groups that don't look like them. And this is the result. The Boston police are racist towards white victims of minority crime, which is exactly what this is. This is the third or fourth time in the last 8 months that violence, aggression, and race and gender-based intimidation have been enacted against my door by Jason DaCosta, by Fanny Matchett, Jasmine Irizarry. I think Irizarry is the one responsible for this giant pile of trash right here because it started happening in like 2015 or 2016 before anyone else lived here except for Irizarry. She's a psycho, mentally disturbed, sex offender, pedophile pig who was at the Shattuck Hospital in 2006 when I was at the Shattuck Hospital conducting a clinical internship for my PhD program. And Irizarry was already a very disturbed piece of trash, an inmate at the Shattuck Hospital who was smearing her body fluids all over everybody and vomiting all over people deliberately. So this is kind of similar to that situation. Irizarry has done this in the past. This started happening again in 2015, 2016, when piles of trash would be left in front of my door. And it continues to happen because the Boston police think that if you're a white victim of minority crime, then somehow it's your fault and you're the racist, right? So fucking ridiculous. So what I'm going to be doing now is filing a complaint with the U.S. Attorney's Office, calling the FBI, telling them that the Boston police have failed to respond to this. This exact identical thing happened, 10 days ago when Fanny Matchett left that bag right there of wet toilet paper in front of my door. And then when I moved it away from my door, she moved it back in front of my door, and I moved it away from my door, she moved it back in front of my door. Fanny lives right down the hall in Unit 86. I'm not saying that this is Fanny's handiwork right here, but that bag of toilet paper certainly is. And Jason DaCosta, the pedophile pig who lived in 88 next door, was violently slamming and punching and kicking it repeatedly back on December 23rd and again on February 4th. And because the Boston police refused to do anything about that, it also continued to happen. And Mr. DaCosta, back in November of last year, or was it December, left a giant pile of trash in front of my door. Also, when I was out for the day hanging out with my friends. It almost always happens when I'm out with my friends. Isn't that weird?